Is life fair? That's something that I've been asking myself these last couple of weeks. And after coming to a harsh realization, I personally believe that the universe is quite just in a lot of ways. There are some things that happen to people that in the current moment they are like, that's not fair. Why did this happen to me? I didn't deserve this. But a lot of the times they don't really take into consideration all of the past things that they have done. Let's just say, for example, a kid in high school, or maybe let's just say he was in his 20s, and he used to pick on people. He used to make fun of autistic people, and he used to pick on a kid with Down syndrome. And then a few years later, he found a wife. She was beautiful, love of his life. He had met her during high school, but they had really gotten together after high school, and they had started a little family in their 30s. After he had gone through some pretty tragic things with his family, he decided to finally find peace and happiness with his wife. And turns out, of course, after 10 years, you usually tend to forget certain things, but the kid with Down syndrome that he used to pick on in his 20s or during high school actually ended up killing himself because of a lot of, like, all the stress and all of the bullying got to him, and he ended up taking his own life. And since the guy ended up moving and he ended up taking his wife with him, he ended up going overseas to China. He had no clue that the kid he had been picking on those last couple of years had ended his own life. And a few years passed, he finally had his kid, and it actually turns out that the kid ended up having Down syndrome. And in his current perspective and his current moment, he was extremely mad at God. He was extremely mad at the universe. He was like, why do I deserve this? I don't deserve this. I've been good to my people. I've been a kind person. So in his perspective, he didn't deserve what happened to him, and he didn't deserve his kid being born with Down syndrome. But he had forgotten all of the past mistakes that he had made. And to be fair, I don't really blame him. In my perspective, it's very easy for us to forget all the past mistakes that we've done. It's very, very hard to keep everything backlogged and actually have a understanding of everything. Our mind has a certain limit for memories. So he had kind of just forgotten about that. And I don't know. Of course, this is all hypothetical. This never actually ended up happening. I kind of just made up the story. But what I want to get to with this point is people in the moment tend to think that what's happening to them isn't fair, but take the past things that they've done out of context. And sometimes it's just learning lessons from the universe and from God that, yes, they might be a few years too late. Like usually whenever you're teaching someone, for example, whenever you're teaching a dog, in order for them to actually learn, it has to be immediately. But karma, God, and the universe work in mysterious ways. And I think the universe is just in those ways. I'm not saying that everything is fair, not everything is, but for the most part, from the things that I've seen, it tends to be pretty fair. And let's just say, for another example, I'm trying to come up with something. Let's just say that you used to be a drug dealer and you had one of your kids die. You had you had blood on your hands. You had killed people, and then the universe ended up taking away one of your offspring. There are certain things that happen in the universe that are unexplainable. For example, something that I personally still can't wrap my head around, and I guess it can also be justified. For example, I don't know what the parents did, but a kid getting cancer. There are just some things that are kind of speculative, and I don't know. Right now, I have a business, and I'm kind of trying. I do have a business, and I'm being mentored under someone who has generated their clients over 100 million views. And it has kind of helped me open up my eyes to a lot of things and get a different perspective on multiple different things. Like one of these things being justice and being how fair the universe is. So I don't know. I'm curious to what you guys think. Obviously, there are different perspectives, and this can go down a way deeper rabbit hole. We could argue like certain beliefs, like Catholicism, Christianity, what Muslims believe. There are a lot of different perspectives on why the universe is as it is. But this is just from a non-biased standpoint. I am Christian Catholic, or I guess Roman Catholic. And this is from a non-biased perspective. This is just from what I've taken into consideration and the the end result that I've gotten from a non-biased analysis. Kind of shifting the tone right now. I finally, after a few months of battling, or actually a few years now, battling I wouldn't say insecurity, but not being able to leave the United States. Me and my family finally got that situated, well, mostly, we still have some things that we need to do. But for the most part, for me, since I don't really want to speak on other people, I want to speak on myself right now. I'm actually going to be able to go to Colombia. So that was kind of on my, not bucket list, but it was something that I wanted to do and that I kind of need to do with my mentor, since he is going to be going to Colombia for the summer. I'm planning on going with him. It used to be kind of like unsure, like I'm not too sure if I can go, but I want to go. And now it's finalized that I actually can go. Only thing that would be stopping me would be, I don't know, I would say the money, but even then it's like I just need to provide more value and I'll make more money. And right now I have a pretty good amount of money saved up, so I think I will be able to go 100%. Only thing that I'm still being unsure about is if I should go to Rebel Capitalist again this year, which was a life-changing event for me. If you guys don't know, it is a networking event for capitalists, for entrepreneurs. Ooh, big deal. But yeah, it's fantastic. George Gaiman goes. George Gaiman actually hosts it. Robert Kiyosaki goes. There's some pretty other heavy hitters, and that's where I met some fantastic people. Some great people go there in general. But yeah, I don't want to yap too much. I don't want to say more than is needed. So yeah, just think about that. Just food for thought. Is the world fair? Might be, might not be. This is kind of just my understanding of it, and the conclusion that I came to.